Abbott said the shooter had a mental health issue. A month ago, he slashed funding to help. Abbott meaning Governor Greg Abbott in Texas. Let's see here. Uvalde, Texas. Governor Greg Abbott said Wednesday that the Uvalde school shooter had a mental health challenge and the state needed to do a better job with mental health. Yeah, right. Yet in April, he slashed $211 million from the department that oversees mental health program. So get this, he's saying the state needs to do a better job with mental health. Yet in April, which was just last month, he slashed $211 million from the state budget dealing with mental health. And he's running for re-election. Isn't that something? It's kind of crazy, the stuff that happens in some states. You know, it's like, I don't know, maybe Texas is so hot that the people down there don't really think right as to how to vote. I mean, these people need to be voted out of office. Come on, people. People like Abbott, people like Ted Cruz, who talks a lot of garbage. Even though, you know, the guy, he attended Harvard, you know. And sometimes he makes some really stupid comments. Even Republicans say, you know, this guy is really a moron. The stuff that he says. So in addition, Texas ranked last out of all 50 states and the District of Columbia for overall access to mental health care, according to the 2021 State of Mental Health in America report. We as a state, we as a society need to do a better job with mental health, Abbott said during a news conference at Robb Elementary School, where a gunman shot and killed 19 children and 2 teachers on Tuesday. His remarks came just a day after an outraged Connecticut senator called out lawmakers opposed to gun control who seek to blame mental health for the most recent school shootings and others before it, in rejecting suggestions that stronger gun control laws could have prevented the tragedy. Abbott conceded that the slain 18-year-old suspect had no known mental health issues or criminal history, but said anybody who shoots somebody else has a mental health challenge. Really? Not necessarily, could be just an angry person. His assertions drew rebukes from public health experts and scholars who study mass murderers, as well as from his Democratic gubernatorial rival Beto O'Rourke, who was ejected from the news conference after storming the stage and accusing the pro-gun Republican of doing nothing to stop gun violence. There is no evidence the shooter is mentally ill, just angry and hateful, said Lori Post, director of the Buller Center for Health Policy and Economics at the Northwestern University School of Medicine. While it is understandable that most people cannot fathom slaughtering small children and want to attribute it to mental health, it is very rare for a mass shooter to have a diagnosed mental health condition. David Reitman, founder of the Center for Homeland Defense and Security's K-12 school shooting database, said, overall, mass shooters are rational. They have a plan. It's something that develops over months or years, and there is a clear pathway to violence. The much bigger problem, they said, is Texas and many other states are awash in weapons. Texas has more guns per capita than any other state, Post said, after the tragic 2019 mass shooting in El Paso. The governor signed several bills to curb mass shootings. Unfortunately, most of those bills involve arming the public to stop mass shooters. Post pointed out that police officers trained in active shootings were injured Tuesday. She and others said that even if mental illness was the root cause of the elementary school shooting, local officials have historically shortchanged programs to help people with psychological problems. Last year, the Houston Chronicle published a three-part series that showed Texas leaders failed to adequately fund or manage the state's eroding mental health system. In addition, conservative parenting groups in Texas and elsewhere have targeted school-based mental health initiatives, including programs meant to help students manage their emotions. Critics claim the programs are a Trojan horse for critical race theory, a separate and rarely taught academic concept that examines how systemic racism is embedded in society. Okay, so this goes on and on, I guess. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to put a link to this.